guys. Good evening. So I've just come on to do a quick update on the case of the manhunt for Joseph Couch. He is still on the run. I didn't do anything yesterday because there hadn't been any news updates in the time that I was able to obviously do anything. So hi Donna. I just wanted to come on and give you all a quick update. So there has been a press conference this morning. I did have the helicopter up, but the helicopters have just vanished off the radar again. So I'm going to play the press conference first. I'm doing good, thank you. I will do a proper update when I go live over on TikTok. I haven't long been home, but I just wanted to come on and just quickly do an update just so everyone knows the guy is still on the run. Hey, Queenie. And he's still a massive headache out there. And I just wanted to give you the latest press conference. And I am keeping a little eye on the old flight path. Like I said, it was on there, and I have got the radio on in the background. But I'm not really hearing a lot. I kind of feel like I'm going to have to silence that while we go and watch that, otherwise that'll be annoying. Okay. Too many tabs, I keep telling you. Too many tabs. Too many tabs. Right, where is it? Let me just check on the radar very quickly. There is a Lexington helicopter in the sky. I thought it might be going over that way, but no, it's not. I don't know how these helicopters just disappear off the radar. It's like they just dropped out of the bloody sky. It is. Okay, let's go.
Y'all need a sound check? Please. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
What do you have for breakfast?
I don't eat breakfast. Coffee. We good?
Hey, which one?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I just got done meeting with some of the incredible law enforcement heroes that are working to keep the people of this and the surrounding communities safe, and to get an update on the ongoing efforts to bring safety and justice to this region following Saturday night's senseless violence along I-75. As you all know, 5 people were injured in the incident, but God was with us even when it was toughest. The newest information I've received is that 4 of the 5 victims have been released from the hospital, and the 5th is expected to survive.
That's good.
From someone that's lost people close to him in a mass shooting, no one wants to go through it, but for everyone to make it, we're really grateful for. We are deeply thankful for everyone who responded on that day and since. Thankful for those that answered the 911 calls, who I just got to meet this morning, that because of their diligent efforts, those ambulances filled with other heroes were there on the scene. We owe a debt of gratitude to the healthcare heroes, both in those ambulances and ultimately at the hospitals that provided life-saving care. We're grateful to local law enforcement who responded so quickly, ensuring that this situation did not get worse, and immediately opened an investigation that continues. Grateful for the cooperation, knowing that justice and safety is the end goal. And while the uniforms may look a little bit different behind me, everyone's goal is the same: to protect the citizens of the Commonwealth of Kentucky and to bring safety and stability back to this region. To the victims, their families, and this community, these things aren't supposed to happen, but they seem to happen far too often. But know that your Commonwealth is here for you. We care about you. We'll stand with you, both in the days that have happened since and the days that are moving forward, and we will heal from this incident. Since Saturday, authorities have been working tirelessly, utilizing every tool at their disposal. I want to be very clear today that I am proud of the work of all the law enforcement agencies and what they're doing. They are bringing the most modern technology, every technique that is possible to search some of the most rugged terrain that anyone could hide in. Yes, they haven't found this individual yet, but that's not for lack of trying. There are so many individuals, so many resources that have been brought to bear and will continue to be brought to bear. I'm really grateful for everyone that's been involved in the search. You look at all of the different agencies that are represented: the Laurel County Sheriff's Office, the London City Police Department, the Kentucky State Police, the FBI, ATF, the U.S. Marshal Service. We even brought in the National Guard because of what the Blackhawks could do in helping us to search some very dense areas. And if I've missed anybody standing up here, it's only because we have that many groups that have pitched in and that are working hard to try to bring some closure to this situation and ultimately catch this individual. The days since this incident have been tough for this community, but as I said, after the devastating floods hit some of this same area a few years ago, these are tough challenges, but this area is filled with the very toughest of people. Kentuckians are doing what we do best. We're coming together and we're helping our fellow neighbors. Our law enforcement and other emergency service partners, again, have done a tremendous job. They haven't stopped looking for this individual, but they've also doubled down on providing safety for this community. I know everyone, especially local law enforcement, others from KSP that have been brought in, are doing more than they have maybe ever done before, working extra shifts so that people in the area can feel safe in such a scary time. They've worked through rough terrain. They've worked in the dark and understand in this terrain, they've put their own lives on the line in each of these searches. And that's why it's so important that the search is done professionally and carefully, because we haven't lost anyone yet from this shooter, and we want to make sure we don't lose anyone going forward. I want to thank Kentucky Emergency Management for their help, both in supporting local law enforcement and some technology they brought to the table. Again, I want to thank everyone in both local, city, and county government. Since it occurred, I've been in regular contact with your mayor and your county judge executive, who's here today. I've been receiving regular reports from the Kentucky State Police, and like everyone, hoping that we'll get that report that this individual is found and that this situation is over. As the days move forward, we also know that folks are going to be trying to get back to their everyday life, which is a challenge in times like this. Know that your state stands with you, and we are ready, willing, and able to provide additional resources to hopefully get back to that transition to everyday life. We started with Rockcastle Public Schools yesterday, coming up with a good plan provided by their superintendent, where the Kentucky State Police augmented local law enforcement and helped with some bus routes, making sure that each of those kids could get to school safely. I know those plans are being made in each of the counties impacted, and we're thankful for the very thoughtful way that people are going about making sure that all of our families and all of our children are safe.
It's true.
On behalf of Team Kentucky, thank you to everyone who spent a minute, an hour, or the last several days nonstop working to try to do their very best in this situation. Now, I know there's also a lot of people out there that this is just another incident in this world, and they say, how can I help? What can I do with all this going on around me? The first thing you can do is to give blood. Now, when this incident occurred and those 5 people needed help, when they were rushed to emergency rooms, most likely all of them needed blood. And folks, we have a national blood shortage going on right now. One of the things that we can do, and not having lost anybody in this incident, paying it forward, is to make sure we're giving blood so that there is enough of a blood supply on hand for whatever incident comes next, wherever it is. So today, I'm actually leaving here, heading back to the Capitol for a blood drive that we had previously scheduled. I'm giving myself. Brittany is giving. And we're going to encourage all Kentuckians out there, regardless of where your local Red Cross or blood center is. This is one small thing that you can do every so many days to help make sure that if one of these incidents occurs, that we have the resources to take care of people that are injured the best way that we can. Now I'm going to turn it over to KSP Commissioner Burnett to provide a recap of their search efforts. Commissioner.
Thank you, Governor. Good morning. I'm Colonel Philip Burnett with Kentucky State Police. Today marks day 6 of this event. Last night made the 5th night that we were incorporating operations for the search of Mr. Couch. What I can tell you is we have no significant updates at this time, but we are following up on some leads. We've started to have a few more tips come in, and we're still expanding upon the search area there in the Daniel Boone National Forest. We're still utilizing nighttime aircraft operations with thermal imaging. We're still using canines. We have cadaver canines. We have bloodhounds that we've brought in. The FBI has brought in a bloodhound team from Illinois.
Pennington,
we are using surveillance. We're using intelligence. We're using ATVs. We're using moving patrols. We're using every single possible entity that we can to bring this to a successful conclusion for his capture. You know, it's unfortunate that this happened in Kentucky and here in Laurel County. But what I can say is this is how it should work when you have something that occurs here. With the federal partnership that we've had with the FBI, they've been boots on the ground, ATF, Sheriff's Department, the U.S. Marshal Service, Kentucky Emergency Management. I won't go through all those the governor's already hit. But when you talk about partnerships on a grand scheme for such a big event, this is how it should work. And we will keep working until we exhaust every single lead that we have in that area. Now, after we clear this area, we may have to expand upon that. We may have to adjust our operations, but we will still use every means of technology that we have, all of our assets that we have, equipment, and keep going forward. Now, as we go, we're still in the search phase, but we also have where I understand that there is a fear in the community. You know, I have talked with superintendents as well in the area. You know, we've talked about interaction back and forth, you know, what works best for them. I know big thing here in Kentucky is high school football games. We've already working with a plan with superintendents that we will have uniformed troopers and officers at every high school football game that is occurring Friday night. So there's a lot of things that we are going forward and working with, and we'll be more than glad to be able to sit down and discuss and give what relevant information that we can. But again, you know, our command post is there. We're still working that area. We're right now. I mean, we have teams out there right now scurrying that area, and it's difficult. I mean, it really is. I mean, you've heard it. You saw the videos. It's very treacherous terrain. And it takes time, but we're going to clear that area. And then after we clear this area, then we may have to expand and tailor our activities going forward. But again, as right now, no significant updates, but that's all I have right now. Thank you.
I also want to thank our county and Commonwealth attorney who are here today. I know they stand ready to prosecute this individual to the fullest extent of the law, to make sure we set an example that we don't tolerate this type of violence in this part of Kentucky or in any part of Kentucky. We'll open it up to a few questions.
Governor Beshear, can you just talk about the timeline on when this gun was purchased and when the shooting happened? I mean, it's a turnaround, just a few hours.
Well, the information I've received is that it was in the same day. That's obviously very concerning to me.
Yeah, he could be.
And this was an individual who appears to have been, he
could be down in the day and moving
on causing
in the night.
harm to other human beings. I don't yet have the evidence in front of me of what fully led him to this point, but there's no excuse. Now, when you put a plan in place to take the lives of our fellow human beings and try to take as many of them as possible, you can and should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. We've got to, again, we got to do a couple things. We got to set an example that you will be brought to justice here, but we also have to make sure that people don't see notoriety or celebrity in these types of things. It worries me in some of what we see in our society right now, that those that end up in a bad place try to create a situation that puts these law enforcement officers in harm's way. And so in all the messages that are out there, including through the media, we hope it's presented in a way that shows people that there is no notoriety. There is no celebrity in committing an act like this. There's just evil.
I spoke to some parents yesterday at Rockhouse County Schools. Some were saying that the school is a safe place for the children to be. The others were kind of talking about that lockdown situation and how they fear with police and KSP on site looking over the school that it may be taking some away from the search. Do you have any comment on that?
Yeah, first, to all the parents that are out there, I have 2 high school students. They've had threats on their school. This is scary, and I get it. And people should have the grace and the space to make a decision with what they do for their kids on these days. What I can say is the Rockcastle plan was put together very carefully. It was successful yesterday. All of those students were safe, both on the bus routes and in school. We augmented what was needed there with members of the Kentucky State Police that are not involved in the search. We will not pull resources away from the search for those other activities. We just want to make sure that people are ready to try to get back to their day-to-day lives, that there's that extra presence where people can just feel a little bit better. Those could be my kids. And I'd want that extra uniform that's out there. I'd want to know that our Commonwealth cares about them and is showing up for them, and it's going to make sure they're safe.
Governor Beshear, can you talk about the possibility of adding the Kentucky National Guard to boots on the ground, extra resources for the search?
Right now, what was requested is some aerial assistance. The Blackhawks have proven very helpful, especially how dense it is. Right now, we don't have an extra request, but that's something we would certainly look at. And again, this isn't the type of search where you can just put a whole bunch of people out there at once, because this is an individual that we believe is still armed. Would be very difficult to spot. And again, we want to make sure that we don't lose anybody throughout this. So this is a law enforcement operation. I'm relying on the folks behind us, and they are the experts in it. They have my full confidence, and I know any extra resource they need, they're not shy about asking.
Governor Beshear, so we have the search area is still being expanded. Any indication that Joseph Couch is still in the area, or that you think of that?
I think that's what the search is all about. I think the search has 2 pieces that go on. One is a direct on the ground search, and the other is tips that come in that are investigated. The idea is if he would have left the area, then you get a tip at some point that you can corroborate. But law enforcement behind me are working both of those angles. They're not taking anything for granted. They are working day and night in the area, because if he's still here, they want to find him. They're also doing all the extra legwork to make sure that if any tip comes in that would suggest that he's left the area, that they find him through that too.
Governor, when you hear about these tips coming in, what's kind of running through your mind as far as, Kentuckians wanting to help find this guy?
We are one community, and we are horrified by the act that occurred here. This is not who we are. This is not who Laurel County or the city of London is. This is one person who chose to do wrong, who chose to do evil, and because of him, there's both 5 people who are injured in a community that has been through a lot, that has been through trauma. Everybody wants to help, and anybody who sees something credible ought to call in with that tip. Make sure that you have seen something. Make sure that you do have a real tip. But the folks up here and that work with them are following up on these over and over and over. And what it shows is people want to help, and the people are scared. And that's okay. Like we said for a year and a half, we'll get through this. We'll get through this together, and this is one strong community. It's been through a lot recently, historically, and I know we'll be able to push through it and come out the other side.
Do you see a light at the end of the tunnel?
Well, yes, either that we are going to find this individual in the area, we will get a credible tip that he has left the area, or we will have to change the approach as time goes on. Now, while we do that, the idea will be, how do we help people feel safe during that period of time? And we've got offers from all over Kentucky, from law enforcement and other areas, to say, if you need a few extra people in uniform, if you need some extra presence, we're here. That's what happened after the tornadoes in the west. That's what happened after the floods in the east. We show up for each other all over this Commonwealth, and the rest of the Commonwealth wants you to know they care about you. They love you. They're standing with Laurel County, London, and the whole region, and are going to stand with us until we get through it. And again, we get through it together. All right. Thank you all very much.
So that was the update. It was about 20 minutes long.
Hi, I'm Master Trooper Scotty Pennington with the Kentucky State Police in London Post.
55.
Most of y'all got that yesterday. I want to clear something up. Just in the last couple of hours in Wayne County, and
It's really weird. Hang on. Let me put the scanner back on. There's an air medical, PHI air medical hovering over the forest. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Which you can see there, which is in the Daniel Boone Forest. It's the PHI medical. Now, I don't know. That says to me that's like a medical, not a police helicopter, but why is it hovering over that area? Because it's like flown all the way in and around, and then I thought perhaps it was going off somewhere, and then it flew back round again because I was just watching it. Right, let me just check I've got the radio on play. Maybe. Although it's an expensive what if, isn't it? How much do they cost to put these things in the air? But I don't see any other helicopters. Now, there was one earlier, and it was the Kentucky State Police. But I'm not seeing that now. Let's see where this little chopper goes. Where are you going? Maybe he's going to London. Did they just say they found someone? See, that helicopter. Oh no, it's took off all the whole flight path now. It's turning back round now. Look. He's got army skills though, Jack. So he could have some survival skills. But I personally, if you ask me, I personally think he's probably unalived. But I mean, at what point do they stop? Because I mean, they only did a few days, didn't they? Like maybe a week with Aaron Pennington, and he's never been found. No human remains or anything. What are they doing? That helicopter's just going for like little spin. Look. I'll show you how dense everything is in a minute. Hang on. Let me just see where that helicopter's off to. Where are you going, helicopter? Come back. So we're going from there. I mean, I've been searching all the way, like right up here. Let me have a look. Let me show you the density of what we're looking at here. And this is me on Google Earth. So, you know, we went for a little drive the other day. I think I was headed back home this way. And look at the density of it all. He could be like, I think if he was still alive, I bet he's hiding out in the day because it's hot. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Is it hot in Kentucky now? Nipping it. Because if he's listened to the news and everything, we're going to overtake someone. Oh, no, I'm just showing you what it looks like. Let me just look at it. Obviously, it doesn't take you into these places, but I mean, we can just about see. So he could be hiding out in the daytime, moving at night, because he knows that's what they've said that they're doing, that it's too dangerous for them to maneuver at night. I mean, personally, I wouldn't put that information out. I mean, maybe that's what they want them to think. I don't know, but everything's still been sort of. I can't remember if I came. Huh? Look at it. It's insane. Like he is a needle in a haystack. I do not know where this bit is, but we'll go with it. I just want to show you the density of the area. It's insane. Like, look at it. And this is obviously. I don't know whether these roads are passed through on a regular basis. I don't, you know. Let's go. I mean, where do you even start with all this? Like, I mean, obviously we're not seeing it all. We're only just seeing the roadside version. But do they have, like, I'm assuming it's a national forest, isn't it? So do they have like tracks and stuff that people can just wander and walk around? Like forest paths and stuff? That's insane to me. I mean, I don't think the area was this massive when they were looking for Pennington, but they couldn't find him. And I mean, unless they're still looking but not mention it, let me just update on that. Let me put the flight radar on so you can see what's going. Where's the helicopter? Now the helicopter's gone. Where did the helicopter go? Why did they just keep dropping off like that? There was a few helicopters and now they've all vanished. They've all gone. And there's some in Lexington, but that's not what we want, is it, really? Obviously got something going on in Lexington because the air chopper is circling around like a good one. Hey, where's that? Where are you going? Round in circles. Let me just show you what I'm seeing. I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are. Like, do you think he's deceased? Do you think he's no, take me back. Take me back. I mean, When you look, this is an aerial view of the entirety of the like. I mean, I don't know if there's. Now we drove past this earlier. I do recognise that house. We did go past that house when we went on our little journey. Came through here. I think we just basically. How do you? Yeah, I think that's a residence there, and that's. I'd crap your pants if I lived here. I'd be petrified living in and around here. Or here. Like, I mean, they must be doing this section by section, but if they are truly not looking for him at night, and if they are truly not looking for him at night time, I want to go down. Oh, there it is. Then he could have gone really, realistically. I think this is where they were heading up, like the area of their main point. But it's crazy because obviously you've got your church there as well. Truckers stop here. I mean, how do you head something like this with? I mean, he could get. Yeah, me too. Yeah, the helicopter's done one and keeps hiding. Oh, hang on, what we got here? Oh, we've got the police out again. The PHI medical is back over at. I mean that is dense, right? I'm not gonna lie. How do you head a search like that now? If they are truly not looking for him in the nighttime, he could be moving in any which way. They said that they had him in an area that they can within and contained. Well, at this point, I would think if he was contained, they would have found him by now. Surely. Let me just pull you up that. I know you like to have a little bit of a little look at the old helicopters. There we go. I just wanted to come on and give you a quick update on here. I do like to see things through, but the annoying thing is if they don't find them, how long do we carry on? When I say we, I mean them. So that is the Kentucky State Police. We're going the wrong direction. We're supposed to be down here. Use that. And that's Lexington. This is where they're going to join Lexington, and he's actually not down here anymore where we thought he was. He's all the way up here where they are. Look at that. The trouble is when you zoom in like that, you can't. So that's Kentucky State Police. And that's the. Why do I feel like they're heading in the same direction here? It's a pain that you can't have two of them on like thingy all together at the same time. Like really, I wish I could, because as you can see up the top there, like it'd be handy because I can see them and I know which ones they are. But like, I don't know. I want to see if one of them turns off. Looks like the Lexington one might be changing its dot, but then. And this is where they come out and say, we weren't actually looking for him there. Ha ha ha. We weren't telling you all that stuff online because we didn't want to give him any clues. Oh, it's turned. I mean, they could be meeting up somewhere down there, couldn't they? What time is it? It's like, no, it's not even. My new speaker things came today, so that's something. Where are you? Oh no, hang on, that's going to poo-poo my theory. Look, it's turned around. And just like that, the Kentucky helicopter disappeared off the radar again. Like, what is with that? Jesus, take the wheels. I kind of feel like they hit like a little black spot and then they disappear. No, it just vanished off the radar. But I want to know why it was flying. It was flying away. Why was it flying away? Someone knows. Tell me. Something's happened in Lexington. These bloody thingies better not break. I won't be impressed. I'm going to try them out in a minute. I'm going to do some videos. Like, what the hell? Personally, I'm not holding out for an alive capture. I think. Right, that helicopter just disappeared. That's doing my head in. So this one's down here now. It's bobbing along. Well, these look a bit nicer. All I'm interested in is though, do they work? Because that's all I care about. I'm not doing anything to my child. He's gaming, I promise. I feel like I need to say that every time he makes that. See, I'm here, I'm talking to you. It's a bit like when I get accused of shit that I'm not doing over on TikTok. I'm like, hey, I'm here, I'm talking. I mean, I know you can't see me waving my hands and that, but yeah, he's definitely gaming behind me in his bedroom. And yeah, I'm not, I promise I'm not, I am not doing it. I'm not causing any harm. I can't see any more from that helicopter down here. It's literally gone off the radar. So I think with that, I don't think there's anything else to report. So we've had the press conference, we've had a little look in the sky. I will keep the radio going on in the background while I'm doing stuff. Most inconvenient when you're do you know, does it not frighten you when you see all these aeroplanes in the sky and you think, oh my god, like how are these aeroplanes not, how are they managing to be in the sky? I know, why, what is with the noise and the weird like turkey noises and then the high pitched and then the gruff? Where do they get all these vocals from? But I wonder that every time I click on this bloody flight radar thing. I'm like, well, like, I mean, come on now. I mean, look at this airport. That's packed. That's rammed. Lexington Airport up here. Look at it. It's rammed. Oh no, that's Indianapolis. No, here is that airport there, and then ooh, who are you? Starfire Aviation. Not interested. United States Army. The army are out. The army are out. Maybe the army are getting involved. I swear, I promise. These always remind me of like hordes of like, what do you call them? Flying ants. That's what that reminds me of when I see them all piled like that on top of each other. But yeah, I do wonder how, like, because whenever I've been on an aeroplane, I don't see this many planes in the sky, but they are clearly bloody there. They are clearly there. Yeah, you think you're totally on your own up in the sky. So I'm going to keep an eye on the radio. I'm going to keep an eye on the flight radar. If I am honest, if they catch him tonight, I'll be amazed. I personally think he's not here, as in like with us on Earthside anymore. But it's weird that he left one weapon behind. It is weird to me that he did that, because it kind of implies that if he is possibly armed, that he's not wanting to be caught yet. Is he wanting to cause more harm before he unalives himself? And he did clearly state that he was going to unalive himself. But if he has unalived himself, where the hell is he? I mean, that's the thing. They'll come across him. They will come across him if they're, fingertip searching through. But I mean, like I said, he could be on his way. He could be well on his way if he knows that they're not searching at night time for him. I just wouldn't let the left hand know what the right's doing. But I will be back tomorrow on for a short bit of time just to give you an update on this. I'm going to be talking about, I've decided I'm going to talk a little bit about Lucy Letby tonight, just so that we can upset some people. The pro Lucy Letby's. And yeah, so I'll see you guys on my TikTok. Oh, I'm doing a battle later. I've got to do 3 battles later, just so you know. They're not like battles like that. I'm doing them with Nick just for a laugh, because I need to do 3 battles to complete the mission. Because when I complete my missions over there, they give me extra points. So I've got to get a couple of the. I think it's Morgie. I'm not sure. A couple of those. Do 2 hours, which is easy, and do 3 live battles, and I can do that. So yesterday they gave me an extra 10,000 points. I was well impressed. I thought, yeah, I've actually done it. So that's what we'll be doing. I think I'm going on about 8ish, maybe 15:15. But I will be there, and then I will update you all on my day. It's a long day, so I will update you when we are having our battles, because it's been a long day. But it was a very fun day. I'm not going to lie, and it was very interesting. So I will see you soon, guys. Love you all. Bye.